Here alongside John Ramdian and Robin Black, we're going into Saturday's card in Houston, Texas on the eve of the Super Bowl in the same city. And it is headlined by Dennis Bermudez and the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung-jung, who we last saw in August of 2013.
Awesome.
Against Jose Aldo. Of course, he had to do his mandatory military service. Now returning, I don't know how you possibly... what your expectations can be, what he's going to look like, where you can even draw from. Like looking at a fight from 2013 and trying to figure out how he's going to look in 2017, good luck. I have no idea what he will look like on Saturday.
I would expect, though, because of his role in the military, he was teaching hand-to-hand combat, he was teaching martial arts and fighting to the students, to the military personnel. So the idea, he's got an analytical mind. He's trying to teach people. You would expect that he is growing as a martial artist, traveling through either South Korea or different places to gather knowledge to bring back to some of the students or the cadets or whatever the term is they use. So you would imagine he's as sharp as mentally as he's ever been. On top of that, he's all he's had to worry about is acquiring knowledge over the last number of years and teaching. And then, of course, for this training camp, working with the guys at the MMA lab with Ben Henderson, who has South Korean heritage. So you would imagine that even though he's been away for the game, he's as sharp as he possibly can be, considering that all that time has elapsed since the last time we saw him.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing as far as you got to look at what those 3.5 years could consist of. And what you don't, when you are the coach or you are the teacher, you don't necessarily have teaching. But if you keep thinking and you keep trying and you're searching and you're curious, you come up with your own answers. So you're just a little different than everybody else. You're trying to pioneer new ideas, you're innovating different concepts, and you're trusting feel. So it's going to be fascinating to watch him fight. It really is, because he will have evolved in whatever way he's capable on his own outside of the flow of what's happening in the game itself. So I'm excited to see him fight. But the Korean game, man, is pretty outstanding. You know, Dong Young Kim, we were calling his fights in Japan as he would travel from Korea to fight in Deep, and he was the front end of it. But there are many others, of course. Do Ho Choi, one of my very favorites, is on this incredible high level. But even calling Deep and Pancrase recently, we saw 0-0 Korean fighters, debuting guys, badasses. So in the whole world, one of the most interesting places for the development of the game itself right now is South Korea.
Because they're playing the new game. Mm-hmm. They have traditional martial arts backgrounds, and they're incorporating in this new game. I had a chance to talk to Ayman Zahabi, and he's like, you know, this is the time of the strikers, where we figured out how to keep people from taking us down, to manipulate that space, to look for the knockout. And if you are seeing some of these South Korean prospects, that's exactly the game that they're playing. So it's a very, very exciting time, you know, around the entire globe for the game.
So do we expect, like, he may have a different nickname after this fight, because I don't expect him to fight like a zombie. I expect him to fight like a ghost. And the Korean Ghost, maybe that's what he's going to end up being. But he's going to look very different, and that makes the fight really exciting. And we haven't talked about Dennis yet. Dennis is one of these guys. He will have evolved and played the game and felt the movement of the game happen. But he also has some old school tools that, so like Ayman and others, I just have to move my feet and I can't get taken down. Well, there's some that can, and Dennis is one of these guys. There's some that their old school raw materials are so high level. Once you believe nobody can blast W, guys like Dennis Bermudez can. He's super physical. He likes to throw power into everything. So this is a very dangerous, very interesting fight. The card itself doesn't have all that many marquee fights, but this one is a fantastic fight.
What about the idea that Bermudez, I think he's had 7 fights in the UFC since Korean Zombie last competed.
Yeah, man.
I don't think you can replicate that for somebody that's not active in the same sense that a Dennis Bermudez is waking up every day, training with world-class guys.
Also, the damage, though, the wear and tear on your body, those 7 fights in the camps, you're banged up.
True. All of these dynamics make this fight super interesting.
It's going to be an interesting fight Saturday night. That's your headliner in Houston, Texas. Chan Sung-jung taking on Dennis Bermudez at 145 pounds.